All right. Do we want these on the table?
I don't think it's a huge deal.
Yeah, it's a podcast, so.
Yeah,
It looks kind of cool.
it does. It looks more high tech.
Are we recording right now?
Yeah.
We are recording.
Oh, dude, I just got
These are
scared.
These are our new mics.
We're now recording.
I'm usually not in front of the camera, so it is a little weird.
You're usually...
No, people ask me that all the time. They're like, so it's pretty easy getting filmed. I'm like, no, I don't enjoy being in front of the camera. Like, it's fine, but especially like if I have to like look into the camera and talk, I don't really love that. Like, this is kind of nice. Like, I can kind of tune them out when I'm not looking directly at them. But
yeah, dude, for me it takes a minute. So like the first 10 minutes of this is going to be like nerve-wracking for me, and then I'm going to forget the cameras are there, the mics are here, but
until I have to stop and
so why don't you guys take
everything.
why don't you guys take the first 10 minutes?
All right.
Maybe we should introduce ourselves.
Oh yeah, we should.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Dallas.
Wait,
Dallas, first of all, is this going to be your first or second podcast, bro?
Okay, I just recorded the first podcast in Tanzania with Lauren, just about Africa and the conservation of Africa and hunting in Africa, because Africa is taking a beating.
Yeah.
Like, the world, well, I think the world's probably okay with it, but like the media these days is not okay with hunting in Africa.
Like they're putting a bad spin on it.
Yeah, they're putting a bad spin on it. Like that whole Cecil thing, like I know exactly how like all that went down and like how Africa works, and it's ridiculous. Like everything was 100% legal. Like that hunter paid a lot of money to be there and hunt in Africa, and I know the ins and outs of like where all that money goes and what it takes to like take care of an area there, because that's where the money is really going, is it's getting put back in these areas to keep them wild and to keep people out of them, to put a value on the wildlife, because when there's no value, especially, and the thing is the value, which people don't want to hear this, but the value is in the big animals, you know what I mean? The cats, and those animals are where the money is coming from to protect everything else. So I don't know, it's kind of crazy. That podcast will drop, but it's probably going to be podcast number 2.
Oh, okay. So is this number 1?
This
maybe.
This is going to be.
This will probably be number 1.
This is going to be number 1.
Yeah.
All right, but the cool thing is Dallas Haymeyer, with the experience, is starting the podcast, right?
Yes.
All right,
me
cool.
and Dustin.
And Dustin.
And me.
Dude.
Dustin, I don't know if no one's ever seen Dustin.
Dustin's coming out of the closet.
Coming out in the other way, though.
In the other way, okay.
Dustin is the master behind the scenes.
Ooh,
so
he is, yes.
Post-production guru, I guess.
Post-production guru. So we have Devin here, who played a large role in like the start of everything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like
definitely
we obviously had filmed hunts and done things before him, but I mean, I guess I could say Devin really like kind of helped to like put us on the map.
Yeah, he was you were like the jump start. Like, seriously,
the
film,
film. So our first hunt with Devin was 2 years ago, and it was in September. So it was almost 2 years ago exactly.
Yep.
And so crazy how it all came about. You draw an expo tag.
Yep.
Here in Utah, a rifle tag, and yeah, you called me up, I think, and you were like, how did it even happen? Did you call me?
Dude, I called you.
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
called
dude,
me and you're like,
I've got this tag,
we should go
a rifle tag. I'm going to try and kill this bull with my bow. Do you want to come film it? Well, let me see if I can make this work. Yeah, dude, I think you called me back and you're like, yeah, dude, let's do this.
Yep, and so, yeah, because we'd been talking for a while. I don't know, I think we had some mutual friends, and I think I'd still been like, I wanted to go hunt in Mexico with you, and you'd killed some big bucks on the front, and I was like, all right, like, I need to meet this dude and go hunting with him. Because you were like on my radar. It's like, I want to go hunting. Like I think like subconsciously I like have this list of like people that's like, I want to go film with that person, this person.
And I made the list.
And you were on the list, and we did it, and it was epic.
That's cool, dude. Way cool. So we all worked together. Dallas filmed. I was the hunter. Dustin was the man behind the computer, working the magic,
and Dustin
doing the edit.
Dustin puts it
so now that he's out of the closet, does that mean like maybe in a year or two I could come out and be a part of the team?
Dude,
maybe.
You're
just actually, I don't really know.
You are part of the team.
Yeah. All right, cool.
We're all part of the team.
Yeah.
So we are gonna record this podcast today.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's. We have no name for the podcast.
We have like one idea. That one, remember I told you about? I don't know if I should say it on camera.
No. I don't. I just kind of want to just see where this goes. Like I want to record like 20 or 30 episodes, and so it's just.
And then name it.
Yeah, maybe.
We have an idea, but yeah, it's like so I do bowling leagues.
Yeah.
You know, it's strange, but I don't know. I love bowling. I do it with my dad. It's
That's
one
cool.
of the few things I do with
Are
my
you
dad.
good?
Dude,
I'm okay.
What were your 3 games the other night?
I don't know. I could pull it up.
No, you know.
So
tell me what your games
It was I got a 600 series. So basically, in leagues, you play 3 games.
Yeah.
And then you average out those games or whatnot.
3 games over 600.
Yeah. So basically,
isn't 300 a perfect score?
Yeah. So 300 is a perfect score.
Yeah, 3 games.
So out of 3 games that night, I averaged like 600 I got total pins like 630. Pins. So
over 200 a game. I mean, my gauge is if I break 100.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah,
it's
I'm
good.
thinking I'm doing good.
Dustin's at the level where he needs to break 200 for it to be like okay.
Pretty much. So that's kind of how I feel. But I was just sitting in bowling and I was like, hey, what about this idea? And he was like, I like that, but yeah, it's not like a.
Okay.
So we'll see.
It's not concrete yet.
It's not concrete.
Well, after we turn off the cameras, you guys can tell me.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
So
we don't want everybody.
I love podcasts. I always listen to podcasts.
Dude, I love listening to them, but I hate doing them.
I know, but I just felt like it was another. I'm always like, me and Dustin, this is one thing we've decided. Like, when we get together, we never accomplish anything because we have so many ideas. Like, yesterday I went to his house. I was like, all right, I need to come over to your house. Like, we need to talk about these couple videos we need to get finished up. And Tori texts me like 3.5 hours later. She's like, how are the videos going? And I was like, I had like 4 things that I needed to do at Dustin's house, and I got home and I didn't get any of them. I was supposed to get this footage.
I felt like we got some of this stuff
done.
No,
we got stuff done, but I'm just saying, like, we were just like, I was like, all right, you need to tell me what's been going on the last month with you. I gotta like catch you up on what's going on with me. Like, this is the video we need to do. This is the video we need to do. All right, I recorded a podcast. We need to do the next one.
Yeah.
You're like, I finished Devin's video. I was like, okay, podcast with Devin tomorrow. Yeah. And then like,
then it happened. That was quick.
So
that was quick.
It was quick.
It's
we try to make things.
We're trying to like. We have a million ideas, but I told him, I was like, dude, if we just start chipping away at like. I think that's the key to getting stuff done. We actually need to ask you what the key is because you crush it as well. But I was like, all these ideas don't mean anything. I was like, but if we knock off 5 things a month on this to-do list, you know, by the end of the year, we'll have like 25 of these things checked off, you know what I mean? And we'll be that much further ahead.
Yeah.
And so, we wanted to make the podcast a priority, and so we're making it a priority.
Cool.
Because I think it'll be, I love listening to podcasts. I think a lot of other people, a lot of people that I know are into it, and it's like untampered with information.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like flowing out,
Yeah.
and I feel like when I'm in front of the camera, I'm like, this is scripted, this sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Which, we are in front of the camera, but like,
but now
this
is like a normal
I can just talk with you
yeah.
guys and like get my thoughts out there.
Yeah.
And so
I seriously didn't understand like the whole podcast, like, I don't know what the word is, movement. Because people always talk about, I listen to podcasts, and I was just like, why? But then Dallas, when he came up with the idea, and he told me like a little bit more about Brian Call and Great Moment, and I've listened to some of his podcasts too, just because, you know, the experience and the involvement and stuff like that.
Right.
But he started telling me about it, and I was like, okay, I understand now. Yeah, I'm like totally in on this. Let's do this. And our idea too with involving like.
Yeah, and
dude, there's no reason why you guys should not do it. Like, you guys need to do it, especially with all the other stuff that you guys do, the filming, the editing, the hunting. You're gone all, you know what I mean? It's like, dude,
and so
you're gonna be meeting cool people all the time.
And that's what I told.
Dude, who's done a podcast in Africa?
Dude, and that's what I told Brian. I said, Brian, I was like, this is my thing. Like, I'm meeting like people all over the world, and I was like, they all have really cool stories, and it's not I can't always like capture their story in video. You know what I mean? Like I might be like with a client or with someone else, but like I can sit down and like talk with them and get their story. And if I'm talking with them, that means I'm on a hunt with them. And so I've got footage with them. And so it only seemed natural to us. I was like, all right, well, how can we do a podcast, you know what I mean, but have it be a little bit different than everyone else's? And not to say, I mean, I know there's people doing this, but I was like, well, why don't we podcast about the stuff we filmed and we're filming about, and then we cut the footage to the podcast. So not only is it an audio experience, but it's like a visual experience.
Dude, the visual will be cool. Putting in the film. Yeah, dude. I can't wait to see this podcast.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Overlay like some of the ELK, some of the IBEX.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's cool, dude. That's got to be so much work for you.
It depends.
Yeah.
This, honestly, the way it's set up, though, won't be too much work. I mean, it will be some work, like finding the specific points where we talk about, you know, certain things.
But I would think it won't,
and stuff like that, and add in that footage. But it won't be like technical. Your IBEX hunt or like your
because it's not like, all right, I got to figure out, I got to cut this music to this, and like, how is this going to transition to this and this? It'll just be like, all right, we're talking about this. All right, just flow that clip in there and then flow it out. You know what I mean?
And plus,
I'm not saying it's not going to be a lot of work, but maybe not as technical as.
And plus, for some of it too, like I'll be here, and I think that's the most difficult thing when it comes to like editing, and the most tedious part of like editing these films is I have to watch. I don't skimp out and just like pull clips here and there. Literally, I take
a little bit.
Not even a little bit. I'm not even kidding. Like I'm not even just saying this because like I'm on camera and stuff like that. But the most important thing when it comes to like editing is just like finding the story and displaying the story. Like sometimes I'll do fancy effects and stuff like that to like add to it. And I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but I kind of just add those on films that aren't as good. But sometimes they're good as well. Yeah. But if there's a good enough story, like it doesn't need it.
Right.
But
like yours was the most important.
Your ELK hunt and as well as your IBEX, like they're good stories. So like it doesn't really need, you know, fancy effects to take away from that story. But I'm serious. I take every single day. I lay it out on the timeline in my editing software, and I'll watch it.
Did you watch all of it?
Watched all of it.
Every minute
of it. The thing is, though, I have a secret.
Dude, how many hours were there? There had to
like
been a lot.
14 hours.
Because Dallas does not stop filming.
14 hours.
He captures everything on like.
Yep.
Yeah.
The thing is
that's cool, dude.
The thing is, though, I don't really. A lot of it, I don't have to watch. Like, this is my secret. This is my secret. Okay?
Oh, you watch it like on like times 10 or times 2 or 3.
Yeah, because like on when nobody's talking, I just need to get an idea of what was filmed, so I can just watch it really fast.
That's cool. Okay, so, I remember you doing that when we watched.
But his brain, that's not normal.
Yeah. So just because I've done
his mind works at a faster pace.
No, when I seen you on the keyboard, dude, I was like, okay, this guy's got like this different brain, different mind. I'm just like, whoa.
It's like
I'm the total opposite, dude. Like,
I don't even use like a mouse. Like I just hit all the keys.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Taylor was all like, Taylor was there, and he's all like, dude, I was blown away by the way he was working his keyboard.
Dude, and I think that is like a huge. I think that is one of like the secrets to life that I don't think people understand is. And I was even talking about this with like some of my big clients and some, you know what I mean? Some like, I get the opportunity to be around some like super successful people that have like big companies and like you. Well, you're just a lot younger.
Those guys are a lot bigger. They'll do that guy in Africa.
Yeah. He's got some cool
stuff. But go ahead.
What he told me is he's like, you can't have your hands in everything. He's like, you need to do what you're best at.
Yep.
And then the key is to surround yourself and find the people that you need who are also the best at what they do.
Yep.
And I think that's why this works so well is you were doing the hunting thing.
Yep.
You were in your zone. I was doing the video and the photography thing, which I specialize in the hunting aspect. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you throw me like at a wedding or something, like, yes, I could do it, but I'm going to be like, oh, I don't know what's going on. But in like a hunting zone, like I know what's going on. Like I know what that bull's gonna do. I know I know where I need to be. I know like how to frame it.
Capture.
And that is my zone. Yeah. When we get into the computer stuff, like there's some things I like, but it's out of my zone. It's not in my zone.
Yeah.
And I found Dustin, and that is his zone. And so with the combination of the three, that's how I feel that where the best product comes from. You know what I mean? Like if I like try and do everything, it's not going to be as good.
Right.
And so
yeah, dude.
To be fair,
I agree.
His elk hunt though, you did a rough cut on it.
Yeah.
So. Because I remember getting that, and you had already cut down a lot of it down.
Well, he's given me he's given me probably more credit than I deserve. But yeah, just I mean, it worked really well, and so yeah, we had a good. The three of us, so we made a good team, and there was definitely more people to the team than that, but
yeah, I think like even like in business, dude, I've always thought like delegating, right? Like you need to be good at what are you good at? You're good at like managing your team, creating a good environment. And then I always thought, well, now I need to become good at delegating and finding the right people. So that's kind of exactly what you were just saying. But, okay, so dude, how many hours did this elk hunt video take? Like, I know you probably didn't like clock in, clock out, but.
Well, so, yeah. So I mean,
from start to finish,
I mean, let's put it this way. So the hunt took us 10 days.
Okay, wait, hold on. Can we do this real quick? Let's build up the elk hunt. Right. Let's talk about like.
Yeah, that's true. We can talk about it.
So you guys were telling me some stats on YouTube, which blew my mind.
No. Wait. Let's go back into the
Okay.
This is the thing.
All right. Let's organize our podcast for a minute, and then let's go ahead.
So we started off. You drew the expo tag.
Yep.
Let's just talk about this. What are the odds of drawing an expo tag? Would you guess?
1-2%? Maybe. No, not even 1%, dude. I don't think so. I don't think it's 1. Dude, do you?
No.
It's less than 1, right?
It's not good.
It's like a half of a half percent.
So I'm not really like, I don't understand. Well, not that I don't understand, but
this is another thing we haven't talked about. Dustin isn't a hunter, which is why this all works so well, because we're in the hunt. I'm seeing the hunt like as a hunter, and I have like this whole vision, and like as I'm playing back the footage and watching it, I'm like, this is what's supposed to happen. Like, this is we heard the elk and then we went on the stalk, and Dustin sees it, and he obviously can like see the progression of things, but he's like, well, it'd look cooler if we like did it backwards though. And like we were there, and then we did like a flashback to the bugle and then the audio, and like, let's just like mix up this system. And in my head, I'm like, no. It's like, that's not how it happened. But that's why it works so well, because I interpret it one way through the lens, and then he interprets another way, and I think these films meet somewhere in the middle, and it's different.
Yeah, no,
I like it.
You've put both films you put together really well. Telling the story. So
okay, back to the elk. So we get this. Devin gets this tag. Let's just say 1%. I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of people are putting in for essentially it's a lottery system.
Right.
Draws this tag, and hits me up. We kind of make a plan for September. Devin talked to some people, kind of got some intel. We knew it's a tough unit. Like it wasn't also
it's like a limited entry unit.
It's a limited entry unit, but
the best of the best.
If we're being honest, I think it's the worst limited entry unit in the state.
I think it's pretty good now.
No, I know. I mean, now, but like when you initially told me, you're like, I got an expo tag. I'm like, dude, what'd you get? When you told me the name, for the first off, I was like, I don't even know that unit. And then when it hit me where it was, I'm like, oh, dude, that might as well be like any bull unit. Like the unit's not that great. But then you're like, but it's a rifle tag, and I was like, oh, we're good. And then you're like, but I want to use my bow, and I was like, we're not that good. But you're like, but I'm gonna take a gun. So like, if we need to pull the gun out, we can. And so I was like, okay, so we're somewhere in the middle. Like we'll be okay. We'll get by. Maybe I can. We'll see. If we see a big one, maybe I can talk into them just stacking
pulling
that
out
thing
the rifle. Yeah.
Okay, so we get there. We go to the grocery store. We buy, who knows, an absurd amount of food.
More than we needed.
But that's to me, that is a big part of the hunt. You got
Dude, we had good food though,
you
right?
You have to eat good. Yes, we ate good food the whole time. We had big breakfast. We had awesome
dude. Staying in my dad's trailer, dude. Good food. And dude, that was a part of the hunt, dude, making sure you eat good. Now when you're on the backcountry hunts, you got your dry food and whatnot, but But yeah, so there we were at camp.
So we were at camp. I think we did it. Maybe we had 1 day of scouting.
Yeah.
I think we saw a few raghorns, and I think we heard a bugle or two.
On the first morning? Is that what you're saying?
Dude, I'm pretty sure we heard, or maybe even the day
Were we
before.
out on the ridge?
Yeah.
On the long ridge?
I want to say we heard a bugle because I distinctly remember after that day not hearing a bugle for a long time.
That's right.
Like days.
Yeah.
Like we heard the bugle and we're like, yes.
Yeah.
We're like, game on.
pumped.
Like they're
This is
already
good.
bugling. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're good. And then it was like day 2.
Yeah.
Day 3.
Like,
day 4. And I was like,
Rifle. Should we pull out the rifle?
I was like,
How many days did you have total? Was it the same, like 15 days for the IBEX?
No,
Or
so
was
we
it
had,
less?
it was a full week. Or was it like a week and a day?
a weekend to a weekend. I want to, like, it was at least.
It started like on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And ended on a Sunday, I think.
Okay, so you only
So
had about
7,
So we
8
had-
days, whatever that is.
Yeah,
Okay.
8 or 9 days, I think.
Okay, got it.
So, but yeah.
It was tough. It was a serious grind. Like, we just started like moving our way. Like, we hunted that big canyon right in front of camp and saw like a few raghorns and whatnot.
And here's the other problem we had. I didn't really know how to call.
Oh yeah, I remember watching the footage. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, in the footage, I'm
Yeah.
like trying to teach my dad.
Yeah.
And probably somebody should be teaching me and my dad.
Yeah.
That's how bad
This is the thing. Day 1, we have master world champion elk caller with us. JP?
JP. Yeah, Jason Palmer.
JP was with us, and he's legit. Like, he's in there. He's got his freaking diaphragm calls. Like, we're all working the Primos blue reeds, like, trying to figure out which way is upside down, which way is normal. Like, just these raspy bugles, and JP, like, pulls out this diaphragm, just starts cranking. Just, like, throwing these, like, mean bugles. And we're like, all right, we're good. And then he's like, oh, but I can only stay for like a day. We're like,
Don't tell us that. Hey, Jake,
yeah,
give us a quick lesson on how to call these elkin, would you?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember like before the hunt started, I'm like listening to what's his name, the Elk 101 guy, Corey
Jacobson.
I'm listening to all of his
Master,
stuff, dude. I'm listening to like YouTube, looking it up, and I got up there and I forgot all about it, dude. I'm like, oh.
Well, there was a time back when I lived in the States that I got really into, dang it, what is his name? So it was like Jay Scott, which he has a podcast.
Yeah.
He has an awesome podcast.
Yeah.
But man, I really cannot think. He does a lot of these elk podcasts with this guy, but can't think of his name. Pretty bummed out about that. But I bought this system that he sells online that like goes all through the elk calls and literally goes into like the languages and the meaning. Like, all right, here's a cow call, but there's like 10 variations of the cow call.
Yep.
And do you know what you're saying with each different call? And it was crazy. It was like a locator call, like this is where we are, like I'm looking for another animal, like
Yeah, dude, so learning a whole other language.
like it was
dude.
crazy. And when you like learned it,
Yeah.
he's like so many people go out there and they're just like blowing these calls and they have no idea what they're saying. Like,
That was me.
Maybe you're bugling like, don't come over here or I'm going to fight you. And obviously, unless a bull's pissed, it's not going to come towards you. You know what I mean? So
I didn't even think
we
about
didn't.
that.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
It's
we
that's
didn't.
crazy.
It's just like dating, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like, I'm dating this girl. This guy wants to fight me, but he's a little bit bigger than I am, so I'm going to actually go the other way. I'm not going to fight.
Wow.
yeah.
You know what I
So
Interesting.
we didn't know what we were doing. Bottom line.
Could you tell that when you were editing a film? Because I know
Like,
you left all the good stuff in to make
right.
us look real good, which was, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. As
So-
in, like, you didn't know what you were doing, like the stock and like.
No,
we know that
like,
part.
okay,
So
okay,
just
okay.
calling.
That's
just
essentially
calling.
what we resorted to. Is I was like, all right, in the mornings, let's go for a locator bugle, whatever that sounds like.
I think like
Rip one off.
I
Hopefully something responds, and then Devin's like, then it's mule deer mode, spot and stock. That's my game.
That's my game.
And so
that's my
I
jam.
think like for a while,
Yeah.
like I just kind of assumed. But I think after a while, I was like, I swear I heard somebody say like, we don't even know what we're doing with the calls or something like that. And I was like, oh. And I was like, whatever, I'll just leave it in there. Who cares? Like,
And so I don't know when into the hunt. Oh, Steve. comes
Yeah.
in.
Oh, dude.
Steve
He saved us.
Man, I've been so busy. I love Steve.
Yeah, dude.
I miss
Good
Steve.
dude.
So Steve was helping another hunter who was using a rifle. Yeah. Steve comes into camp and he's like, "Oh, look at this big bull we shot last night at like 20 yards." We're like, "Oh gosh." We're like, "Do you think there's any more up there?" Because
we want one of those.
We aren't seeing anything. And he's like, "All right." He's like, "I'm gonna bring the mules up here," and he's like, "And we're gonna just start hunting." Because Steve works hard all year with the antlers, but once antlers done, like that dude hunts hard.
Yeah, dude. He's
public land. Any tag he can get his hand on, like, just crushes.
Yeah.
And so Steve comes up, and he's like, "All right." He's like, "This is kind of, this is kind of my territory." He's like, "Let's go hit some new places." And so I want to say he came in maybe the last 3 days.
Yeah, no, because we killed the bull on the third to last day.
No. We took it further than that.
Second to last day. It was either third or second.
So I think we killed it on this day, and then there were 2 more days, and then we like packed it out on like a Saturday, and maybe Sunday was the end day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we kind of took it down to the wire. But Steve comes in, and when Steve came in, I want to say some weather started rolling in. And that is when we found the honey hole.
Oh, dude. Well, we were on the other side of the canyon, remember?
Yeah. So
and we glassed over.
We were where we'd ran into some bulls, you know what I mean? Like we'd had some close calls, like on some smaller bulls. We'd seen the 1 6-point like come over the hill and come down, and we freaking charged.
Dude, we had some good days, dude. Some good action days.
Yeah.
And that's something that I hadn't like really experienced. Maybe one other time when I had my elk tag back in like 2006, I think. But dude, when we found like the money spot and we got up there, dude, those couple of days, dude, that action was unreal.
Honestly, I've been very lucky to like hunt all over the world.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, when you get in the middle of, dude, I don't think that's ever happened to me again. When you get in the middle of 5 or 6 bulls and 50 cows, dude, there is nothing in the world like that. The vocalizing and the fighting and like the energy around you.
So does this make you want to hunt elk or what?
So when you talk about that, like how, and we talked about how like I watch it at double speed. That was like, there are parts when I will slow down because it's so like interesting and I feel so much more in the moment. Right. But I just watched it at normal speed.
Dude,
it was epic.
My heart is
watching all the raw footage. Like, yeah. And like my heart starts racing too. Yeah. Because it's like I've never seen anything like this. I've never like been in something like this, and like.
Dude, I think for like a new hunter, that would be like an experience that would get you hooked. Like if you go and you're questioning on whether you want to go hunting or be a hunter, but you're not sure, dude, you need to go elk hunting during the rut and get in that situation, because that is what will get you like hooked on hunting, I think.
Dude, even right now, like my heart is literally racing talking about this. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's September. I do not have any elk hunts lined up. Like when I get out of this room, I need to find an elk hunt to go on.
I need to find an elk hunter that I can go film.
Or I need to go up in the mountains and just go take some pictures of elk. But that was one of, honestly, like if I like narrow down to like all the crazy stuff I've seen hunting. Yeah. Right now in this moment, I want to be like, that was like top 3. But like, honestly,
dude, you've seen some cool.
Dude, I'm telling you, that is top 5. Yeah. I'm telling you, being in the middle, like that moment when they were all screaming, and dude, the crazy thing is we weren't seeing them.
I know.
And like, it's like, where are they? Like they are literally like they're behind us. Raspy one was behind us. There were 2 more to the side. Then we like heard fighting. Then we can like hear the bull like chasing through the willows in front of her, and like, and I think that was even adding all to it, because we're like, oh my gosh, like what is 50 yards up there?
That was the party of all elk parties, bro. Like I don't know what you could relate that to, but if there's like a big party that they have here in Salt Lake, that's what that elk hunt was like, or that elk. Yeah. That's what that day was like, dude. That was cool.
Yeah.
And dude, it kept going, and then we went up there, and like, it kind of happened again, and then that night, it died. Like, you remember when we just like chased all the bulls off?
Oh like, yeah, dude, we went like,
dude,
they bailed off, and then we kept chasing them. We're like, oh crap.
Yeah, we chased them. We just like we essentially were on this little like plateau.
Well, dude, and we got close to that. We were like 60 yards away. We were trying to get a shot at one bull.
Yeah.
And then, was that the same day of that big wide
bull.
one?
So, no, so that 6 point was coming in that was like, I don't know, like 300 or so. And it was kind of like, dude, killed that bull. I'm like, it's a 6 point. And then like right then.
Is that the one that I drew back on?
No. Okay. And then right after, we saw the big bull. And I'm like, this one, like, I'm rolling film, he's right here. And then you saw the big bull and you're like, no. And I was like, and she's like, we gotta go. And so we're like, he's chasing that cow through the aspens. Yeah. And we're like right behind him, following him. And then like we come out of this hill and like the cow's looking at us. It's like, and then he went up and skylined and got that view. And I'm like, dude, that is like, in my head, I'm like, that's like a 350 bull. I'm like, that might as well be a 400 in this unit. I was like, that is giant. But you know, he's probably like 320, 330. Yeah. But wide, like beautiful 6 point. And then we walk up to the top of the ridge. We're like, all right, he's gone. And then that 5 point is like right there. And you draw back. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And then you're like, just kidding.
Just kidding.
Oh. And you're like, dude, I know the big ones are in here. You're like, I can't hunt anything else. Like, that's what I do. I pick what I want. And that's what I'm going for. And I'm like, dang, you got a lot of self-control.
Yeah, dude, I still
We're
remember.
Like day 8 into this hunt and you're passing up bulls.
Yeah,
so,
dude, what was cool is like when we first seen the bull that we ended up killing, we seen him from across the canyon. And I was like, that's the bull we're going to go kill.
Yeah.
Dude,
I remember.
And I think it's so cool that like 2 or 3 days later, that's what happened.
Yeah.
I was just like, I thought back on that day, dude, I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, so going back to, this was what made that film also kind of different, was because most of the time, most of the films that go on the channel, it doesn't involve like the hunter a lot of times. Well, because there's Jason, and Jason's like, he's kind of in charge, I guess, but he's involved with his hunts.
Yeah.
But you were like actually there watching like
the edit,
different versions.
Yeah.
And like I remember you saying like, oh, I have a clip on my phone we need to add, and it was the bull that I killed, and I said we're gonna go kill that bull. We need to add that in there.
Yeah, dude.
And
that was cool.
So that was something that was also different about.
And we're going through. I will never forget being on that phone, and you're like, oh, you guys. And then we all like gathered around you, and like Steve's there, and
he's
Dad's
got
there,
7 points.
And we're like slow mo, like frame by frame. It's like wait. There, look at the crown. And, like, and you're like, let's go. I'm like, it's like 6 miles away. And you're like, if we run, we can get to him. And I'm like, I like look at Steve. I'm like, no, we can't. And dude, we almost.
Dude, we got in.
The night.
We got in on that night, but it just got dark.
Because you were like, we're going for it, which, dude, in all the hunting I've done, dude, I'm telling you, that's the secret to hunting is, dude, it's a grind. Like, you just have to like go for it every day. Like, I feel like when you start slowing down, because it always happens when you least expect it.
Yep.
Like it would have been so easy that night to just be like, all right, we know where he is. Like, let's just glass here. We'll see if they like move down that face to come to water, and then we'll go try him tomorrow. But dude, we wouldn't have had what I would consider one of the greatest like elk experiences that I've ever had.
That was the night.
That was the night.
That was worth it. Just that alone, dude. That was.
We came down and they're like, did you get him? And we're like, no, but it was the craziest thing. Yeah. I mean.
And that was Steve and my dad that was there, huh?
Yeah. So they were at the bottom. So let's talk about the day it happened.
Ooh, it started off, dude. The day.
So. We meet up with Steve in the dark. I don't even know how he got the trailer up that road.
That muddy. That's right.
Maybe he didn't have the trailer. So we hike up in the dark.
Yeah, because he didn't have the mules then.
Yeah, didn't have them. So we hike up right as it starts getting light, socked in with fog. It's raining. It's wet. It's foggy. I'm just like, this is not the greatest conditions in the world.
And we've got what? 2 days left after this? 3 days left? No, 2 days after this, I think. Maybe one?
Yeah, and like we're getting down to the wire.
Yeah.
And the day before we'd blown all the bulls off the hill.
Yeah.
And so it was like
they're not gonna
spirits were pretty low. It was like, why would these things come back?
Yeah, and this is like a hill where it's like super steep to get up on. It takes maybe like 30, 40 minutes to get up on top.
Yeah, but it's like...
And then once you get up on top, it's pretty flat. Almost like a flat
roly-poly.
toe, but not really. But yeah, more roly-poly. So it's kind of perfect once you got up on top to chase elk if they're there.
So it's super foggy. We get up there. We kind of get to like our little spot on the far north side of the plateau.
Because of the wind. That's where we need to be because of the wind.
And that is where Steve does know how to call elk.
Yeah.
He's killed quite a few bulls and helped on way more. And so Steve throws out what I would call a locator bugle. And bull piped off.
Yep.
And we could tell he was on the far south side of the face. And the 2 nights before, when we went up there and got into all that action, there was a bull screaming right in front of us, like 50 yards, that we kind of saw. And I got just a little bit of film, like ISO, completely blown out, grainy, horrible footage, like in the dark. And so we start making our way there. And Steve's like, all right, I'm going to hang up, I'm going to get up on this hill, and I'm going to bugle every 10 minutes. And so we just slowly start moving in. It's raining, it's wet, but it's quiet. We do have that going for us. And we slowly just like start sneaking in, bugles. And I would say maybe he was like a mile away, a mile down that face.
Well, dude, if you remember, like in the first in the morning, the first call that he did, we had a bull bugle. But then we started to chase that bull because he was going away. Remember we were tracking him?
Yeah.
And then once we pushed him out, or maybe he just left because we were too close, then that's when Steve's like, okay, I'm going to stay even further behind where we think the bull is because we were just too close in the morning. He's like, okay, I'm going to stay further behind, and then instead of, going towards the bull and trying to sneak on him while we're calling, he's just going to stay in one spot, and then Dallas and I are going to keep sneaking up to where we think the bull is.
Dude, and how that all went down, gosh, here's the crazy thing where I probably should tell the rest of the story, but I need to jump to this. This bull was not only the same bull that we saw going up the ridge that we showed the phone scope footage of, but we had seen him that night we went up there. We didn't realize it then, but I have footage of him.
Yep.
And he was literally on this same knob.
Yep.
So same bull we first saw, he was on the same knob 2 days later. When we had went up there, we had skirted on the inside of that. We'd ran all the elk off this face, but him.
Yep.
Somehow in our path of
only
stalk,
one left.
We had we'd went to the south side, and then we'd heard those other bulls, so we jogged over and we never hit his little, that was his spot.
Yeah, dude.
And we never went in it. And so when we ran everything off,
he stayed in there.
He stayed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so we're sneaking through there, and next thing I know,
oh, dude. Yeah. Well, hold on. Yeah. So here's what's happening. So Steve is way behind us calling like 1,000 yards, maybe even more.
Yeah.
He's just calling every, 3, 4, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
And then this bull would pipe off. And then all of a sudden the bull stops responding. Things are starting to slow down. And we haven't heard the bull that we're going after for
15 minutes?
Yeah.
It had been a while.
So
30 minutes?
My hopes are dang it. But we're still just kind of sneaking our way through to where we thought we last heard him.
We're just still hunting.
Yeah. And I'm in front.
Yeah.
Dallas is behind me with the camera.
Yeah.
And this is where Dallas, go ahead, Dallas.
And all of a sudden, I see this bull. I see his antler tips, head down in the grass, the grass is covering his head.
Yeah.
And I can see a big bull.
And all of a sudden I feel this shaky hand grab my back.
And I'm
like, what? He's like, there he is.
And so grab his shoulder. I don't know how far we moved. Did we move maybe 5 yards closer? I think we moved a little bit. We dropped down, and it's freezing.
Yeah,
we are frozen. Devin's trying to get his. He's trying to adjust. He's range finding, and he's like, dude, I can't get a reading. Every reading's different.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, dude, you gotta hurry up. He's like 60. He's 67, 52. He's like, dude, I'm not even getting
get it.
He's like, I'm not even getting it. I'm like, give me a rangefinder. And so I can see clearly, it's back hind quarter, and so I clicked it right off its butt,
Yeah.
and I think, what did I say, 50?
62.
62. So I was like 62. He's like, are you sure? I'm like,
are
positive.
you sure?
I'm
Like,
like,
double, because I'm all
62.
like,
Yeah. Best chance.
Finally
he's
gets
gotten
his
this whole
dials
all
his
these days,
pin, gets his release down, gets his release on, and I want to say right then the bull like looks right at us, and I'm like,
no,
I'm like,
it's over.
oh no,
This is where it all ends.
I'm like, oh my gosh, like we're not. I mean, we're pretty in the open. Like it's just like, I don't know how to describe it. Like sagebrush up to him. Like it's not like there's any trees in front of us or anything. And then all of a sudden he puts his head back down, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Devin draws back, and like I can just tell he's calm and collected, and I'm like, I'm glad someone is, because I'm not. And dude, you cut the shot off, and it was just crack, right in the front shoulder.
Oh,
yeah, it was perfect.
I still don't know, like what shot killed him.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
So right in the front shoulder, boom, he kicks, and I was like, all right, this is a good start. Like we got an arrow in the bull, and he's running off, and you're just in like auto mode. Reload, and I don't know, maybe you had the rangefinder then. I don't remember.
I ranged him again.
When things are going on, I don't black out. And so I'm just like on this bull. I'm like, dude, he's still there. And then all of a sudden, dude, I see him rocking. I'm like, dude, he's rocking. I was like, he's rocking, and he's freaking like, he was hurt bad.
Yeah.
And then I want to say he was maybe like, was he like 72, 75?
Yeah, like maybe 75,
Which
76.
That is why you got to have pins that reach out on that bow, because I don't know what would happen if you wouldn't have hit him again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to say. And so you freaking dialed that pin down. Bam, dude, crushed him.
Yeah.
Almost in the same hole. Like, literally, these shots
they were like
in
so
the
close
shoulder,
together.
and that one just like, boom, it was like he got hit by a gun. Like, he goes down, and he starts running up the hill, and we're both like, I think at this point we're like, oh my gosh. And then like, I looked at you, and I'm like, dude, do you realize what just happened? And then you're like, wait, I hear someone. And when we look up on the hill, I don't know why we took our eyes off him, but we took our eyes off the bull, because we were like, I was like, dude, do you realize what just happened? And then we look up, and dude, we watched the bull go down, like right in front of us, and it was just like,
dude, that was so cool. Just because it was wet and it was raining, and dude, if we would have had to like track him like 150 yards,
I don't know,
200, we could have lost him,
dude. And it's the thing. A couple
just
hours
that
later, it snowed. It snowed an inch.
That's right.
So.
Do we have like footage or like pictures of the snow?
I think there was.
I think we do. Yeah, we have pictures.
The thumbnail, I think, has like snow in it.
Yeah, no,
that's right.
No, we've got it all.
Yeah.
And so we'll be showing all this. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, but that was a good feeling, man. Just watching him expire. In
seconds, like from when you first hit him, 1, 2, 3, maybe like 5 seconds. Draw your bow back. I mean, dude, it was less than a minute.
Yeah.
Like from original shot to down was less than a minute.
Then we start hooting and hollering.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we're like, okay.
And Steve heard us.
Yeah.
And Sawyer was with him.
Sawyer was there.
I don't know how.
That's right.
Sawyer came that day. So Sawyer hadn't been there.
That's right. That was the first day. Yeah. He shows up and we kill. I'm like, Sawyer, where you been, bro?
I know. I was like, dude. Do you know how hard we've been grinding? And but it was good. And then so we go back, and we walk back up to the ridge, and they're like, we heard you yelling. And we're just like, I'm like, we got him.
We got him.
Like,
he's dead.
They're like, how big is he? And we're like, we don't know. We're not gonna go see him.
We haven't walked up yet.
They're like, wait, did you see him go down? We're like, yeah, he went down right in front of us, but we're waiting. And they're like, you gotta be kidding me. You can go look at it.
They couldn't believe that we waited for him. But I thought that would like be so cool if like we all walk up together.
I was like,
that was awesome.
I was like, it's down. Like the job is done. But we want like. To me, dude, I don't know. Like, I understand, like, the whole solo thing, and I know it's easier, but for me, every, like, extra person that, like, gets to experience it, it just, like, adds to it. You know what I mean? Like, I love, like, obviously there's times when, like, it doesn't happen, or, like, no one can go out. You're by yourself, or, like, it's difficult. But on those, like, rare occasions where, like, a whole group like gets to be there and experience it. Like we got to experience that, and then they got to experience with us going up to it for the first time, and then your dad got to come after. And was that the first bull elk he'd ever?
Yeah. Yeah, he says something like that, and he's like, "That's the first. I think that's the first elk he's ever seen."
Well, first off,
yeah, the first one.
He walks up, and he was so focused on you. He walked.
I remember this.
He walked right up to you, and he's like, "So where's the elk?" And it was right next to him.
He turns, he's like, "Holy crap!"
And he turns around, he's like, "Oh my gosh, it's huge!" And it was just like, it was an awesome moment, like that you got to have.
That was one I hadn't added in because I don't know if I just didn't see it or whatever. And you said like we need to add that in,
right?
Because that was a cool moment. So
that was cool, man.
So your dad was there,
go through the edits, add what you know what I mean.
And he was there. Your dad was there the entire hunt. Like there was some stuff that was just, it was gnarly. That hill was gnarly, and it was slippery. Like it was kind of a sketchy hill to get up. And so he was like,
"Don't worry about it." And he'd gone up it the day before.
Yeah, and it was tough. And he was like, "You guys just go up there. If something happens," he's like, "I will make it up that hill." But he's like, he's like, "I just want to chill and I'm gonna clean up camp." he was happy. Like he was enjoying. He was having a great time. Yeah. He'd been with us. He'd probably hiked 50 miles with us already. He was grinding it.
Yeah. Dude.
And so to see him come up and we all got to be there on the elk.
Dude, that's what's cool about that film is like my dad's in it a lot.
Yeah.
Good friends are in it a lot, and I can look back at it, 10 years from now,
dude,
20 years, 30 years from now, and my dad's there in that film. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
And I think I even take it for granted sometimes. And I'm not in. I mean, dude, there's a lot of films that I've done that you would never know I was there, which I need to do a better job.
Yeah.
I mean, just for my own sake, it's like, all right, just like get into film every once in a while, which it doesn't matter. It's not
You're
a big
actually
deal.
In that film. Because when you guys were walking up,
dude, I thought that was cool when you turned it, and we just got to the top of that big steep hill, and we're like, I think you said something about like
steep, or something like that.
Like we're getting close, dude. That was cool, man.
Yeah. But what I was saying is, dude, just to like have that memory on video, like you were saying, like
priceless.
Like right now, it's awesome to watch, but dude, when you're like 60, like, do you know how much cooler that video is gonna be?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To just like pull out with freaking your boy and freaking grandkids and just be like,
see,
back in the day.
Yeah, your daddy could hunt back in the day. He was cool back in the day.
Dude, it's just and I think I don't know. It's becoming. I think these days, I don't know. It seems to be becoming like more popular, and people are like, in what I'm doing for a lot of these people, like they really see the value in it. They're like. It's like become like once people start doing it, like it becomes important to them. Like even you were calling me the other day and you're like, "Dude, I got this deer hunt. Like I think I want to film it." You know what I mean? Like it's cool. It's cool to have that on video. And so
dude, after watching the IBEX, the IBEX film got me pumped again. I'm like, dude, it's been a couple years since we filmed a hunt.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too is like at the end of the day, it's the same with like wedding videos and stuff like that. Like that's all you have left to look back on the film. Look back on that experience.
Same thing.
And I take it for granted too, like a lot just in my own stuff because, I have all this gear and like I can also, I do film other things. I do more like corporate stuff than hunting stuff because I'm not really in that scene besides like editing. But and I've been asked a few times to come film, but I'm like, I can't take like a week away from I did that once for another gig and I got so behind. I'm still catching up from it, and that was like 2 months ago.
Really?
And I was just gone a week. That's it. But anyways, I forgot where I was going with this, but
that's the beauty of a podcast.
I know. Right. What was I saying?
The memories.
Yeah, just
the
like
weddings,
the
you take it for granted.
Yeah. I take it for granted that like my own experiences, like vacations that I go on. Yeah. Because I do this like as a job, it's hard for me to take a camera with me because it feels like I'm working.
Dude, yeah.
But then again, I'm like, I'm so dumb because after I get home from that vacation, I'm like, why didn't I just like take at least some pictures?
Right.
Or just some crappy video. It doesn't have to be
That's my
top
biggest,
notch.
That's my biggest problem is like, especially with my boys, I'm just like, I need to be like in this moment, like with them, you know what I mean? And like we'll go do things, and I'll be like, dang it, like I haven't videoed these kids in like months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm just like, I don't know. Sometimes like I separate it maybe more than I should. I'm like, no, like that's work. Like this is like, I need to be in the moment. And sometimes behind the camera, like I'm in the moment and I see it as being in the moment, but then there's sometimes that I'm like, maybe I should have like put the camera down for a minute and like soak that in rather than like, boom, oh, I need this photo, I need this photo, I need this, I need this shot and this.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm capturing those, so then I have them forever. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, my memory's not the greatest thing in the world.
Same here.
Dude, yeah.
But yeah, it's a balance. Okay, well, we're an hour into this.
An hour into it.
We haven't started the IBEX hunt.
Oh, so dude, are we gonna split it up, or is this gonna be like a 2-hour podcast?
The IBEX, well, we don't want to give away too much of the IBEX. You know what I mean? So we'll make the IBEX a little bit faster.
Okay.
Maybe we'll try and do the IBEX in like 30 minutes. But all right, we still got to talk about how this video went viral.
Yeah.
So
we post it. Maybe we start there.
We take a lot of extra time. Like usually, like when you get on video mode, it's like in a week, like start to finish. Like throughout the week, you're working on it. It's done. But the IBEX, I feel like was, I don't know. It was a few weeks. Like we were trying to do voiceovers, and you know what I mean. Like
you mean
it was
the ELK, not IBEX.
Oh yeah, the ELK.
Flip flop. Yeah, ELK. The ELK. Well, like Dallas had been in like New Zealand, and I don't know where Jason was, and so we went like, I don't know, like 2 months of not posting anything for a while. And then Dallas got me the elk hunt, and that was like kind of I feel like it was a few weeks, like month. And most of the time it takes maybe a week once I start a film to get it like down to its final, adding logos and all that kind of stuff. But this one was like, we even did a voiceover.
Yeah, we did the voiceover.
Because we didn't know if we wanted to add it or not. And like I added the voiceover even to the film, and we had a version that was with the voiceover that we were like, should we do this version?
We still
or should
have
we not?
that. That's kind of crazy.
Do we still have the voiceover?
Yeah, we still have it.
Maybe one of these days we like release the voiceover version. And it's like, it's a little different.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt. I mean, it's like, hey, we like the other version better, but if you guys want to hear some voiceover,
exactly.
So we do, so we do that. We do the whole voiceover, and then we listen to it, and Dustin sends it to me, and I'm like, it's good, but I don't think we should. I don't think we should put it in. I'm like, dude, I remember you were like, Devin was adamant about the voiceover.
I wanted the voice, but
and
you know
what?
I
called him and I'm like,
your voiceover sucks. I was like, I'll go cry for a minute.
I was like,
whatever.
It's good, but I think it's better without. And you were like,
dude, you're not very good at reading. You kind of mess up your words. So we've tried to do this 100 times. Dustin's had to edit this for the last 5 hours. And so we're just gonna get rid of the voiceover.
So literally, the night, it was like the night before. I was like, I'm posting the other one, and you're like, what? And I'm like,
dude, I was cool with it.
I was like, no, you were.
But I'm glad we did it, and I'm glad we still have the voiceover version. That way, I have it, and I still just want to change like the first of the voiceover. So when you get a spare minute.
If I can find the project file.
Oh, geez. He's like, well, sorry.
It's somewhere in there. Oh, don't even ask us about how many hard drives.
Maybe if I can get enough people on my side, based off of this podcast, to message the both of you guys. Well, mainly you, Dustin.
Maybe to get the motivation to search through all the hard drives to find it again.
Maybe we could get the voiceover version to come out on YouTube. Maybe.
We could.
All right, guys, it's up to you.
Okay. So we post the video.
Message Dallas, not me.
We post we post the video, and everyone's pretty, like, the hype is pretty good. Like, I'm getting like messages. You were getting messages.
Yeah.
Like, you posted a photo and got like 100 comments. Like, oh my gosh, we can't wait to see it. We've been waiting for this for like a year.
Yeah.
Because I think we posted it a year later.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was a full year later. So we post the video, and we looked up all the stats yesterday. I don't remember. Dustin, what did it get first 24 hours?
I think it was like
10,000?
20, or maybe it was 10. It was 10. I'm pretty sure it was 10.
10,000 views the first day. And so I was like,
what?
I was like, okay.
Dude, there was a lot of people that reposted it too, I think.
Yeah, the moose video that we posted had done well. But in this one, I was like, I was like, okay,
dude,
this
I
is
think the moose was like close to 1 million by the time we posted the elk.
Yeah. And so I was like, this is like following a similar course. I was like, but we need to see. And like day 2, I think it hit 25,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, okay, these are some big numbers. And like first week, I want to say every day it was going like up like
Here,
10.
Let me pull it up. I think I have.
It was going up like 10 to 15,000, and it hit 100,000 views. And I remember texting you, and I'm like, dude, I was like, this video just hit 100,000 views, and it's been up like a week and a half.
What?
So let's see. These stats aren't very good on like the phone, like looking at it. In the first 5 days, though, it like each day it was getting. Let's see. So it got like, like 10,000 views in the first day.
So do you think, is this, while he's looking that up, is this, did it go viral because we had a lot of people repost it, or is it because people were sharing the video on YouTube, or why do you think? Or is it all of the above?
This is it's all of the above. And I think when a video, I don't know how YouTube works. I mean, I have like a general understanding, but I think when a video hits a certain amount of traffic fast enough, YouTube starts pushing it.
And then it gets momentum.
And so like all these hunting videos, like it was doing so well, like the tags in the video, like elk, bow hunting. When people were watching those similar videos, they were like, all right, this video is good enough that when the video this person is finished, and this is the video that's going to pop up next to watch this.
Right.
And that's what really, when YouTube put some momentum behind it, that's when it went crazy. And I mean,
you can see like the curve from July when it was posted down to September.
Okay.
And it's crazy how it just had a huge drop off like in September, but it still like did this, throughout, its life.
Super cool.
And then look at this. Look at this jump.
Yeah.
From this year. Look at this.
So what is that? This
is
that's August.
This is right now, like in the past
So in the
month.
summer, I think summer YouTube is slow because everyone's busy. They're not like sitting on their phones, and like now as it gets into fall and winter, people are bored.
Yeah.
And they're like sitting on their phones and messing around. Where we're in the summer, there's like everyone's got activities going on. There's just busy with life.
Yeah, dude.
And also another thing that we've thought of is when it gets into the fall, everyone's back at school, and don't you feel like when you're in school, like you're like people are watching videos, like they're texting it to their friends. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they're in their like circle again. Whereas in the summer, everyone's kind of like doing their own thing. So
cool.
It's crushing it, and that video is at 1.3 million views.
Yeah. Dude, that is just crazy.
And what's
the power?
Yeah, what's interesting?
The internet, YouTube, social.
What's the likes and dislikes?
So a lot of the videos that we post, like it'll get a lot of dislikes because
it's hunting.
It's hunting, whatever. And you get, people commenting and everything like that. But this film in particular, like, it is very positive. It's got almost 11,000 likes to only 2,000 dislikes.
And I'll just compare to like other.
I'll give you a comparison of like the Moose film. The Moose film that has 1.8 million views with Jason has about 5,500 likes. To 3,100 dislikes.
Wow.
So that is a very like people get like emotionally involved in that hunt, and like they're like feeling like the tension and the build up and the excitement, and like I think they're like, this is like genuine, real deal, like the story. You know what I mean? Like they're not looking about like maybe anti-hunters are like, oh my gosh, you killed an animal. It's like, okay, I could like see the process and like how that went down, and I think people just like really got involved and like people could relate to it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think non-hunters, this is just speaking like YouTube and what I've seen reading comments and stuff, they respect a hunter more too when they use a bow.
Right. Okay.
Anytime there's a gun, like everybody,
I could see that.
They're just gonna be like, oh, why would you use a gun? Because like you're so far away, and like you get like use a bow. Like they literally say that in the comments.
Yeah.
And so maybe that
could I could see that.
That could be something.
But
a reason why.
Bottom line is, I think it's one of the most viewed elk films of all time.
Dude, that's cool, man. That's cool.
So, and the power.
Thanks to you
the power
for filming. Thanks to Dustin.
The power
for
of
telling the amazing story.
Thanks.
So would you say, like, as an editor, like, that's your job? Is that, like, what is your main goal when you're going into this and you're going to edit these films?
I've kind of, like, changed my title quite often.
Yeah.
So I've done videos, like, since I was, like, 15. Editing videos.
You went to school for this.
Yeah, so I have a bachelor's degree.
15.
Yeah.
I didn't go to school for this.
Yeah. This is
I was
actually...
just like, I love hunting.
Yeah.
And I love taking pictures. And I was like, I'm going to figure this out. And
Dude.
This is actually like kind of interesting because me and Dallas went and talked at
dude, did you know this?
Payson High School.
No. Dude, we grew up.
Oh, yeah. We grew up
like,
together.
we were neighbors.
And you didn't know it?
No.
No.
Oh,
And we were on the same soccer team once, and we went to school, but we were just
same football team. Like,
we were just in different, like, we had different groups of friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But like we did, like in Scouts, the 50-mile hike.
Yeah.
Dude, we did the 50-mile hike together.
Yeah.
And
Up
so
in
like,
Leonard?
yep.
Yeah.
Kings Peak.
Yep.
And so I've known Dustin. I moved to probably since I was 10, and then I'm living in Pleasant Grove. I'm walking to my car from our little condo, and Dustin's walking to his car, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, I live here. I'm like, what are you doing these days? I'm like, a video editor. I'm like,
oh,
I need to talk to you.
Bro.
I was like, I need some lessons. Like, I've got a lot of hunts, and this editing stuff is not my cup of tea. I was like, I just want to.
That's like a super interesting story.
I was like,
dude,
I just want to hunt. I don't want to sit in front of my computer for like weeks.
Well, dude,
and
for how much filming you do, I don't think you'd have time to do it.
No, and that's the thing.
What I mean?
And that's the thing about like finding your lane and what you're good at is like, I can do more of what I want to do, and I can focus on what I'm good at, and then I can hand it off to someone who is a lot better than me, and it's in his line of work.
And
you know what I
pro
mean?
in
Exactly.
that,
Yeah. And so it works best, because that's what got tough. Is I'd go on like a 21-day safari, and I would come home, and it's like, okay, I have another like 2 weeks of work to do, just like organizing this and editing, and I'm like, dude, this is like. And when I'm home, it's like I need to be present. You know what I mean? And like I need to be like be with the family and get. And so I was like, okay, this. And then Dustin's doing it in 1/10 of the time that I'm doing it. And so I'm like, okay, this makes perfect sense. So
All right, so back
to my title has kind of changed because like I've done this for a really long time, and I kind of knew that I didn't know I wanted to like get into video production. Mm-hmm. So I started off like in school, just doing TV broadcasting and like making commercials and messing around in like the different softwares. But the first time I opened a video editing software was when I was 15, and then I knew I wanted to go to school for it. But back then it was a little bit different because YouTube wasn't as big of a thing.
Right.
The path I thought I was going to be taking was like more broadcasting and live events type stuff. So I worked for like BYU. I would document like the football games and like the basketball games.
That's pretty
cool.
I
worked for a live events company in Orem. We like set up stuff for like doTERRA, like staging and audio and video. We just basically provided like audio and video support for like conventions and concerts. I worked up at Sundance and like met some celebrities up there like Stanley Tucci, and like set up events for like the like filmmaker crowd and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I would do like video production just as freelance, and I'm going to school doing this too. And my senior year of college, I was trying to do wedding videos and stuff like that too. My senior year of college, I got a job at Verizon though, and that was just mostly to like get me through school. I thought maybe I wanted to work for them doing video production, but then I got a full-time job in Orem because I wanted to get out of retail. It was like right before I got that job is when Dallas like messaged me, and I was the lead editor at that. It was a video production agency, and so we would make videos for clients really anywhere, but it was mostly in Utah, like big corporate clients.
I don't think we could have been doing more polar opposite things.
I know, it's crazy. Like, and I graduated college. It had been about a year when maybe it was 2 years. I'm trying to remember. Let's see. I can't remember timelines. I think it was almost 2 years, and then I got that job, and then that's when I met Dallas. It was like, met Dallas. I already knew about Dallas, but like I knew he was living literally in the building next to me, from where I bought a condo.
Dude,
and
that's
he was
crazy.
living there with,
That's so cool.
And so that was December of 2015 when we started talking, and
that was right when I was getting started. Like I had just landed, like I just filmed like my first 2 gigs for like some outfitters. They're like, hey, these clients. One of them was an expo tag guy.
Yeah.
And on the Pavant, and he's like, hey, this guy wants you to just come film his hunt. And so I went and did that and did another one. And then, man, those edits were brutal. Like, they just took me, like, as long as the hunt. Like, I did the hunt was, like, 10 days and, like, 10 full days to get this video.
So, how many films had you edited before you did...
Like hunting
my
films?
elk hunt? Yeah.
0. Oh, your elk hunt? Oh, sorry. Your elk hunt, I had done... Let's see, I can tell you right here.
Well, because we got some films you were doing that weren't on there.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, so that's a lot.
Plus like a few
plus
more.
Like 15.
Yeah.
15?
So maybe like 15 or plus 15, or maybe like, I don't even remember, to be honest. Because back then, like, Dallas was just like, at first he was like, hey, can you teach me? And I was like, yeah, totally. But we kept like, our schedules just would always miss. And he was just like, I'm starting to get the hang of this, but I just really need your help. Like,
just here you go.
I'm gonna give you this, and like I can like pay you this, and like I was like, great, like I could use some side work. So
you go from thinking you're gonna be doing like broadcasting, to like all of these things in the middle.
Yeah. So now you're
now you like edit hunting films. Dude, that's cool.
Hunting films and like...
Now you're like 50% hunting films.
Yeah, now I'm like 50% hunting films. Wow. And then I also do wedding videos and corporate videos and promo videos. Like literally just video production is like my expertise. Yeah. Making like a high quality. So when you go back to like what is my title, I've kind of changed it from like producer to like editor. Yeah. And I think just the title's just filmmaker. I just make films, whether that be filming and editing or just editing or just filming. It's just, that's what I do now. So,
nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, you're good at it.
Thanks.
He's very good at it.
Takes a lot of time. There's a huge learning curve to like the software.
I'd like throw the computer out the window.
Dude, it like
before.
And
like
it's,
cool.
And that's.
I know how to edit on my phone.
Yeah.
Like like iMovie. Is that what it's called? I know how to like split the clip.
Yeah. Right.
That's how basic I know, guys.
And it doesn't even like. That's the thing is, I think a lot of people think they need to have like the best of the best, but they don't. Like as long as you can tell the story, like. Then you can edit it. You can edit it in whatever you need. Like, there's tons of like really crappy films that because the story is really really good, like quality wise. You know?
So let me ask you this: Dallas did a good job filming it. Now, if you have somebody put the film together that sucks at telling the story,
it would not be the same film at all. It wouldn't.
That's kind of what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah, totally. Not at all. And like, I think a lot of people don't really. Because I'm just really comfortable in the software, I'm not limited by like my full attention on the footage because I don't have to like stop and look up a tutorial. Sometimes I still have to, but most of the time I don't have to. And so my full attention is just on that footage and just making the best film I can.
So I wonder if being a non-hunter helps.
100% does.
So why do you think that is?
Because my view of the hunt is skewed because I know I'm seeing what is happening exactly and in the order it's happening, and in my head I know how it should happen. Like I'm like, all right, to kill that bull, I was like, first off, which way is this bull going? What's it going to do? Is it going to bed down? All right, what's the wind doing? All right, are we going to call this bull? You know what I mean? There's like a systematic, all right, how are we going to approach this bull? How are we going to get in front of it? Like there's an order in my mind of like how these things happen. And then as I'm filming it, there's an order. And so as I'm going to editing,
you're trying to tell everything about
change that order. Yes, like when I make a film, it's like, all right, a normal film, like if I had a hunt, it'd be like 40 minutes long. Whereas Dustin can take that and be like, you don't have to show that, you don't have to show that, you don't have to show that, you don't have to show that.
Whereas still tell the same story.
Whereas I'm like, oh, but I want to show that. Like that was key. And in my mind, and in his mind, he knows what's going on because he's seen it enough, but his mind isn't like skewed because that's how I think all day, every day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like hunting, like how do we do this? And like I see it. Whereas he has an outsider's perspective that hasn't been ever altered.
Right. Yeah.
And so he can see it in a completely different way. And combining the two works really well.
That's cool. That's kind of
it really does. Yeah. Because if it's not essential, like for example, the IBEX film, because of like the way that story was, there was a lot that was like, it wasn't really important to the story because, you know, there were so many attempts to get where it needed. Yeah. And it was like, it would be, 40-minute, hour-long film. Right. But I think it would just kind of like beat the point too much that people would not enjoy it as much. So if it's not important, it just
doesn't need to go in.
It doesn't need to go in there. So, but I make sure to emphasize like
the important parts
that like
I could see how
it's still shown like, and people watch it and they'll still see what that point was. But it doesn't have to be like beat over and over and over and over again unless that's like really essential to that specific story or
and so I think it's a combination in the film. Like there will be things in the film to where I'm sure Dustin puts it like exactly how I captured it. Like when there was something going down on a stalk, there's like these different shots that I wanted to get to like tell the story of that stalk. You know what I mean? Like, all right, this is where we were, like we were checking the wind in this part and this, like, let's get a slow motion shot over there. And all right, we had to cross this river, and Dustin watches and he's like, all right, perfect. Those were all key. This is how I'm going to put them in there. And there's other times where I'll outline things and he'll watch it and he'll be like, all right, we can leave that out. Or if I rearrange this, it will get the same point across, but it completely like changes the look of everything. Or it's like, all right, we did 3 stalks in a row. We don't need to show all 3. They were all failed. But let's take this part from the 3rd stalk and put it right here, and add this part from the 2nd stalk and put it right here. And we're just going to show it as 1 stalk, but it's going to tell the story in a more like cinematic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like
it's the same point. Like,
do you guys think like Donnie Vincent might think he's got some competition now, or what?
I don't know.
I hope he doesn't listen to that.
Yeah. His
Dude, he's pretty good though, huh?
Yeah. Dude, his stuff is great.
Dude, his stuff is cool.
That's is that the Way of Life Productions, or am I thinking of somebody else?
No, Donnie Vincent. So has he seen any of his stuff?
Oh, yeah, I always used to send you him. I'm like, bro, look at this next level film.
Is he like the one that I saw?
He had like the whitetail hunt. Steve. The buck's called Steve.
Terra Nova. The caribou.
Yeah.
He voiceovers everything. The way he thinks.
Was that film you showed me?
The way we are, like the hunting one, where it was like a bunch of different hunts, but it's like, this is why we hunt. It's awesome. Like
I'll have to rewatch it to like jog my memory. But I know
the way
he's got long hair. Does that ring a bell?
He talks like Devin writes his posts. Like they're
like novels.
Well, I only brought up Donnie Vincent because I think he's pretty cool, and maybe I want to be like him.
Right.
He's awesome.
Our idols that we
his voiceovers are next level, and he has a film crew of like a few guys that are next level.
I think
like
filming
on like reds and just it's epic. Everything.
I think I remember the drone shot like of not
over the boat.
He puts like 1 film a year out, and every time he drops a film, it's like, no, that was film of the year. It's awesome. They're awesome. The production level is.
But seriously, do you think he's worried about competition or what?
I don't know what he's worried about. I don't know him.
He's not worried.
He's a cool dude. I like him.
Yeah,
he puts out awesome content.
Yeah.
I'd shake his hand and be like, I want to be like you, man.
I want to be like you.
I don't know who you are, but.
Yeah.
Well, we're both getting gray hair, dude. So if we just grow it out, we could be like Donnie.
Your hair is not getting gray. Look at my hair.
Dude, you can see yours better than mine because your hair is darker. I'm telling you, when this gets in the light and it hits it perfect.
I can see it, actually.
My hair.
Dude, I've got gray hair, too.
I'm 26. How old are you?
32.
But
yeah, I do feel bad for you. 26?
I'm 26.
Dude, that is so cool. Like, all this stuff you've done, and you're only 26. Guys, we're on here for like an hour and 14 minutes, so What are we doing? IBEX. What are we doing? Are we going to talk about IBEX or what?
We need to.
Are we going to do a second podcast, or are we keeping it all together?
This was only supposed to be about the IBEX. Okay, we just need to. I think we just need to dabble in it, and just we don't have to say the whole thing. Okay. But let's dabble in it, and maybe we'll end this podcast with like. Dustin will put together like an epic 60-second teaser.
Yeah.
To really like hammer it down.
Yeah. That'll be
cool. After the ELK hunt, I'm just gonna briefly just overcap this, and then we can talk about it a little. After the ELK hunt, Devin was like, "By the way, so I have this IBEX tag," and I'm like, "When?" And I think you were like, "In like a few days."
Yeah.
In like a week.
Yeah.
So if you want, like, this hunt was epic, this other hunt's gonna be epic, you should come. And I was like, oh gosh. So we just did 10 days. Go home, like, hey babe, can I go for this IBEX hunt? Like, it's probably only gonna be like a week. I'm really bad at that.
We're gonna kill early, babe. I'll be home.
Every time I say that, she's like, how long is the hunt? I'm like, well, it's like almost 3 weeks, but I was like, it'll only be a week. She's like, so it's gonna be like 4 weeks. And she's like, yeah.
She knows you.
She's like, you can go. She's my biggest supporter.
Yeah,
she's like,
that was cool of her to let it.
She's like, all right, you can go. So we get a couple of your other buddies. Sawyer comes down.
Did Sawyer, he drove down with us, right? Yeah, He drove down. And then he flew back home? Is that what he did?
He had a cow elk hunt. He flew back home, shot his cow elk first day, and we flew him back.
Yeah.
And then he came back.
Okay, keep going.
So this hunt is a grind. I've been on some IBEX hunts. I'd only been on one previous in Turkey for Bezor IBEX, which are the same species of IBEX that's on this mountain.
Yeah.
These IBEX, along with kudu and oryx, something to this extent happened, but I'm kind of just making this up. Like the governor of New Mexico made some deal with someone and flew in IBEX.
From where? Like Iran? It was like Iran, Iraq, or something like that.
I don't know.
For real.
He flew in these IBEX, and he flew in oryx, and he flew in kudu. The IBEX blew up, thrived. They're all over this mountain. The oryx crushing it. You see oryx every year. Oryx thriving. Kudu all died. They didn't do so well. They just didn't.
I was about to say I'm all like kudu.
Yeah, they didn't adapt. So New Mexico has this draw that used to be easy. People probably hate us for making videos about it. But
well, we didn't start it. I think we'll blame that one on Zach, because that's how I found out about it. That's what I put in. But
it doesn't matter. This is an awesome hunt, so we're going to film it. So we go out there. We kind of have these like preconceived notions on like this hunt's gonna be super hard.
Yeah.
But we're like, but we can do it. Like we just killed an elk during rifle season.
We've got this.
So what's an IBEX gonna be like? All right, it might take us a few more days, but
we got it.
Oh my gosh, that was. That might have been the hardest hunt I've ever been on.
Dude, it was tough.
Like that was a grinder. And dude,
rocky.
Were we there? How many days were we hunting? I mean, were we hunting for like 17 days?
Well, we hunted for 14 because that's how long the hunt was.
Oh.
But we were there, like
a little before.
Yeah.
The drive.
A day before, and then we left the day after.
Mm-hmm. So it was 17 days, like.
Because you're right. Because, 17 days.
So this hunt was crazy.
Yeah, we were gone a long time.
This was definitely the most like rugged terrain I've ever hunted. Like, this is the only hunt I've ever been like a little worried for my life every day. Devin is running across these rocks, and I guess he had a bow in his hand sometimes, but a lot of times it was on your back. I'm like holding the camera,
the tripod,
we're like
dude.
Scaling these edges, and it was sketchy. There's snakes, not as many as.
Dude, there was time where I really thought like we probably shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
But then when you have like a goal in mind, you kind of like forget about the risk of what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, there's this one part where you're like coming around the cliff. I'm like, we shouldn't be doing this, but we're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it was just. But dude, that was a fun hunt. A lot of rattlesnakes, dude.
Yep, a lot of rattlesnakes. It was hot. We were on the early hunt. Everyone's like, oh, do the late hunt. Like, it's winter, they're rutting, the weather's awesome. It's like, okay, but we didn't draw the late hunt.
Yeah.
Drew the early hunt.
The early hunt. Which was still cool.
October? Was it in October?
October 15th is when it started.
It was...
Or was it October 1st?
No,
to the 15th?
I think it was October 1st.
It was the 1st, yeah.
The elk hunt ended kind of like mid to late September.
Yeah.
Late September, and then it was right to that.
Okay.
Yeah, because the footage says September 30th to the 15th of October.
Yeah.
So we hunted elk for 10 days. We had like a small break. I feel like it was less than a week, and then we did 17 days.
Oh, dude, we were gone. That was
we hunted together for 27 days.
Dude, that was fun. Wow. Dude, that's why you need to come down on my deer hunt in Nevada, dude.
I know.
Telling you.
But
maybe
we just finished. Dustin just finished this IBEX film.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's going to be launching, I think, next Friday. So I think we're going to do some posts about it. We're going to finish this. We're going to finish this podcast up. But let's talk about a little bit about like just a few moments in that IBEX hunt.
Dude, how about when? I don't know about like when it was, what part of the hunt it was. But this is like one night we were super close to the IBEX. We're up super high. And we're like too tired to go back down to camp. And we're like, well, we can take the 2 hours to get back to camp. Dude. Or we can stay up on the hill with no sleeping bags.
Yeah, I remember this.
Okay.
I remember this.
So,
because if we go down, we're not getting to camp till, let's just say, like 11, 12. Yeah. Then we got to wake back up.
At 3:30 or 4.
To get back up to the top where the billies were.
Okay.
So we're like, we're not going down.
Yeah.
And we decide to camp up on the tip top, light a fire, no sleeping bags, no extra clothes.
Do you remember what else happened? So we light this fire. I'm like, I need to make a call. I walk over to the edge of the rock, sit down. Freaking rattlesnake right. I'm like, and I'm like, dude, there's snakes around us. Like, I don't know. Does the fire scare off snakes?
Dude, you were like 10 yards from where we were going to sleep, where this snake was.
Yeah, like I literally I think I walked like 5 yards away, sat down on a rock. Luckily, the rock was like 4 foot tall rock.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the rock, hang my feet down. Rattlesnake blows up right below us. And then I'm like, okay.
Dallas comes running back over like a girl.
What do we have? We didn't plan on this. We didn't plan on staying up there. So for food, I think I had, it just turned into one of my all-time favorite things. I had a fruit cup. Oh my gosh, so good. I think we had tuna. That's what we take up there. Tuna with some like dill pickles.
Yeah.
Bomb.
Oh, dude.
We started taking up those burritos from the gas station. Those green chili burritos.
Oh, that was good.
We didn't have those that night. I think every day after that we took them. But
yeah.
So we had like tuna. I don't know. Maybe we had some water, but we'd kind of like conditioned ourselves not to drink water because we had to carry it. And so we were just like, all right, I can get by on like a couple water bottles a day.
Yeah. Dude, so here's what makes it so tough about hunting the IBEX, I thought. It's like when you're going after a big mule deer and he's bedded, he's like chilling, bedded. There might be 3 or 4 of them bedded. They're on the lookout. But when an IBEX is bedded, dude, like there's going to be 10 or 20 of them bedded. And then there's like 4 more that are like on lookout points. And it always seemed like when there was a group, they were always on the lookout. And I remember, dude, like when they were in that cave, they'd be bedded in the cave. And then every 10 to 20 minutes, one would come out.
For the
lookout, make sure everything looks good, go back. So they're just like always on the lookout, dude. And that's what made it so tough to like sneak up on them.
And someone told us while we were out there, they said the thing that makes hunting IBEX the hardest is they're not like a normal animal. These things are full-blown schizophrenic, and all day, all night, they think someone is trying to kill them.
Yeah.
Like there's never any like
schizophrenic.
Like, let's just like chill out, feed. It's like they're highly stressed at all times.
You can see it in their face.
Any noise they hear, one kicks a rock down, they
Gone.
blow. It's like, have you guys not heard 1,000 rocks fall around you? But like every time a noise out of the normal that they didn't make happens,
Gone.
And we're not talking like, we're talking gone like bail off a 300-foot cliff gone.
Dude, how about Flare? Dude, Flare. Remember Flare? The one we called Flare? Dude?
I'm honestly not sure which one
Uno
was Flare. Uno was sick. Yeah.
Dude,
that was, that was dope.
I kind of fell in love with it.
Uno is my all-time
favorite. At the
favorite.
end, because dude, that one side was definitely the biggest. That one side was bigger than any other IBEX out there, dude. And I started to visualize at the end of the hunt like what he would look like in my house.
Yeah.
And then do you remember after the hunt, I sent you that picture of the IBEX they shot in Turkey that looked just like Uno?
Yeah.
I'm like, they killed him.
They killed him.
And you're like, no! And then you're like looking at the background and you're like, that's not New Mexico. I was like, yeah, that's in Turkey.
That's not the Floridas. Dude, I can't wait for the IBEX hunt to come out.
I'm excited.
So,
it was a fun one to edit, even though it was a lot. It was still fun. Like
so I don't think we've told people too much about it, but I think throughout this we'll like play some clips and then we'll end this podcast with a teaser of the IBEX film.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if people haven't seen the ELK hunt,
well, we did talk about it for like an hour and 14 minutes.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think everyone's seen it. I think it's safe to say everyone's seen it.
Right. Yeah.
But if you haven't seen the ELK hunt, go watch the ELK hunt. Watch the IBEX hunt. We're gonna drop the IBEX hunt. It'll be on our YouTube channel, The Experience. But the easiest way to find it, just follow our Instagram accounts.
Yeah. Do you guys have a date to when you're gonna release it?
I'm saying next Friday.
I mean, I'm down for next Friday. It's basic. There's a few things that I need to add. It's mostly just like
what's the date next
but
Friday?
It's pretty much final. So.
What's the date next Friday?
It is. Let's see. I don't know. I'll look while you guys.
September.
So Saturday.
Friday.
7th.
September 7th.
September 7th at 6 p.m.
And when is this podcast coming out? When is this gonna launch?
Maybe like. I don't know, Dustin.
We could do
Monday. Tuesday?
We could do Monday. That's actually not a bad idea, isn't that? Labor Day podcast.
Oh,
want to do
I
that?
might be busy on Monday.
That's true. We could do Tuesday.
Maybe Tuesday, but we'll have some time.
Monday or Tuesday, whichever.
All right.
Cool.
So we're gonna drop it. We'll be posting photos of the IBEX all next week.
Yes.
Telling stories. Devin is going to be in Nevada.
Telling IBEX stories. When I should be telling stories about.
So hopefully we interrupt the IBEX stories to post a big old picture of a big old Nevada muley.
I hope.
Wait, and then is your hunt over, or do you get to hunt like multiple
muzzleloader?
seasons? Oh, so you have more. Oh, so, dude, I was stressing for you. Okay, when's the last one?
November.
November what?
Like 30th. I think there's like a late archery hunt that goes in like December maybe.
Dude, we're gonna be on Tori's sheep hunt, like right in
November. I'm gonna kill this week. I'm killing this week, bro.
Okay.
I gotta kill with my bow.
I know.
And I've just heard like, dude, once they strip their velvet like anywhere else, it just gets tough. Like, dude, I've had multiple guys that hunt Nevada consistently tell me like, dude, you need to kill early because it's just gonna get harder. So that's what I'm gonna shoot for.
I did want to ask one question.
Yeah.
Because it looks like we're pretty much coming to a close.
We're an hour and a half.
Yes, affirmative.
Hour and a half. So I've noticed you choose the bow over a gun, a rifle.
Yes.
Because it, obviously.
95% of the time.
Yeah, 95% of the time.
Yeah.
Is it just preference or is there a reason behind it?
There's that challenge, right? It's more challenging.
Mm-hmm.
But don't get me wrong, like I still use a rifle when I go to Mexico, but I've also used my bow in Mexico when I could have used a rifle.
Yeah.
But dude, I think the one thing that you can't get with a rifle that you can get with a bow is that being up close and
Intimacy.
personal.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And dude, sometimes it sucks. Like Zach has that shirt that says "Bow hunting sucks," and sometimes I wish I had that rifle. But dude, it's hard to trade a rifle for being up close and personal.
Right.
And that's what I love about archery hunting is when you get close, dude, and you're like, holy crap, it's about to happen.
Yeah. Well, and it probably takes that much more because, you got to keep your nerves, and it's probably that much more satisfying. Like, once you, the whole thing comes together and you get it with your bow. Like, kind of like the elk hunt, and
Yeah. Don't get me wrong,
awesome.
though. Can't wait for Mexico.
Yeah.
And a rifle.
Dude,
Nice change.
We're gonna talk about this because I've been wanting to go to Mexico with you and Jesse forever, dude. We talk about it every year, and something comes up.
I know, dude. This might be the year.
Do you know the dates?
It is.
Do you know the dates?
Well, we usually go twice. So once in December.
Okay.
Before Christmas.
Okay, that could.
And then usually
Could
around
work.
January 21st, give or take.
Okay,
So usually we come home on January 21st, actually.
Both of those could work.
But it depends on the moon.
See,
we always
I like
plan
this.
it.
Did you hear about that? Dude, they're going off moon phases too.
Yeah.
See, there's a lot more to this than people think about. People are like, oh, they just go out, run around the mountains. No, I mean, we got moon phases going on.
Yeah.
We got.
Yeah.
I like it. Tori
plan
is
it.
all about the moon.
She what? She's
Tori,
about the moon.
She loves the moon. It's funny. She's always talking to me about like moon phases and like different energies of the moon. And
That's cool.
how it plays into things. And the same thing about Africa. We were just there, and safari was pretty tough. And they were like, the hunter that I was with, he's like, it's a bad moon. He said, I knew it before we even came.
Really?
It's gonna suck. He's like, you gotta have the right moon when you're hunting cats. So
Interesting.
yeah, it plays into things. Some people say it doesn't, but
Mexico.
Mexico.
Let's go to Mexico and then we'll do another podcast.
okay.
Done.
So video is dropping next Friday, September 7th. If you get the chance, watch the ELK video.
Yeah.
Then at the end of the ELK video, I'm going to have it so it goes right into the IBEX video. And just imagine this is all happening in a 30-day time span. Watch them together, which I've never even watched them together, but I'm going to, and just play it. And maybe, you were talking about the voiceover. Maybe, it's a thought, maybe we do a voiceover on the IBEX. We combined voiceover ELK and IBEX into one film.
Ooh.
Do you know what I mean? And we can just like...
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. But for now,
We'll
the
stick.
the IBEX is gonna be the new latest release. It's a grind of a hunt. It's crazy.
Cool. I'm excited for it to come out.
Same here.
You can see it on, the easiest way is just going to be to follow our Instagram pages. What's your Instagram handle, Devin?
Devin, Leonard, Devin, Leonard, Leonard _.
Okay. We will put that on the video so people can see it.
Yep.
And and you
Cool.
can follow Dustin stuff at
Film Thrashing Dustin.
Film Passion Dustin. You can follow all of my adventures at Dallas Haymeyer and all of our stuff on at Hunt the Experience.
Hunt the Experience.
And on, most of our stuff, it's on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And on YouTube, it's The Experience. So if you haven't, go subscribe because, I think we have like 40-something films now.
We've got, I can tell you.
Dude, the channel, we started like a little over a year ago. Dude, 30,000 subscribers. So it's doing,
Dude, that is
good.
killer.
It's doing good.
It's just youtube.com/The Experience. Easy to find, or you can just type in The Experience on YouTube. You'll probably find it. We have, man, I hate looking on phones. Can't see how many videos. I can see all the videos, but it doesn't.
We got a good array of stuff though. Like you can go watch elk hunts, you can go watch IBEX hunts, like bear charges, mountain lion.
That snow
mule
leopard,
deer.
is that on there?
Yeah, Tajikistan.
Yep, you can watch Tajikistan,
seen
but
it.
there's another one, Mongolia, that's coming out soon.
Yep.
That's the one.
Oh, the drone footage of the snow.
No one's seen that.
Yeah, nobody's seen that.
I
mean, you've seen it, but no one else has seen it.
It hasn't been released to the public yet, but it's good.
All right, so
cool. That was fun, guys. We've made the decision that we want to go after a big, mature billy. It might not be the smartest idea, but we decided in the beginning of this hunt that we wanted to shoot and kill an old, big, mature billy, so. This is getting close, real close. I mean, this is what we've worked 12 days for, to get an opportunity like this, and